Elaine and I'm one of the specialist instructors down at Link for Life. And this little video today is a standing video you've taken from the exercise after stroke moves. So this is a perfect video for anyone who has a stroke or has had a neurological issue, and just a couple of exercises that work on your balance and coordination. You'll need a chair to use for balance as and when you need it, so if you want to be quite sturdy and just have it nearby. We're going to do 5 exercises today, nice and simple, and you can repeat these as many times as you want over the day. So the main thing is we're starting nice and tall, got a little bit of engagement through our core, and we're nice and strong. A little bend in the knees so we've got our balance. We're going to start off just with a march, nice and straightforward. We're just going to march it out. So we want to think about swinging through the arms if we can. So we want to swing forwards and backwards, pushing back with the elbow, keeping that bend into the arm. We want to make sure we're not coming across the body, but we're going forward and back. We're just lifting up through the hip, through the knee, and through the foot. If you need to, you can use your chair for balance, either with 2 hands or with 1 hand. It's entirely up to you. Or you could use a wall if there was a wall nearby. So we're just nice and strong, nice and steady. What you want to think is, can you be as even as possible on both sides? So really concentrating on making this march as equal as possible through each foot, through each leg, through each arm. And keeping tall. Set a pace that works for you. It doesn't matter what pace it is. It's a pace that works for you. We're just keeping it nice and smooth, nice and steady. Marching it on the spot. If you did want to, you could lift the knees a little bit higher. Again, make sure you're staying nice and tall and you've got your balance. So that chair is nearby, or a wall if you need one, for that balance. Keeping it going, nice and steady. So this is exercise 1, nice and smooth. So exercise 2 is going to be a side step. So we're going to bring it to a stop, get your balance. We're going to step to the side and together, to the side and together. So it's as if we're going over a little hurdle. We're lifting up through the hip, through the knee, stepping over that hurdle and bringing those feet together. We're staying nice and tall, and again, if you need to use your chair, better off standing, so you can use it 2-handed or 1 hand, or again, this exercise could be done hands against a wall. We're keeping nice and tall, and we've still got that step. And how high you lift your knee is up to you. What you want to make sure is you get your balance, you step and balance. So always make sure you've got your balance at both sides before we lift that foot. And again, think about it's being as equal as you can. So really trying to balance it out through each side. May need a little bit more concentration on one side, and that's absolutely fine. Stepping to the sides, it's working on that balance, working on that coordination. Keep it going, just a couple more. That's it. I'm going to bring it back into the middle. Next exercise is going to be knee lifts. So again, the chair is there if you need it, or even 2 chairs for this one, 1 on either side. Feet are going to start about hip distance apart. I'm going to lift the knee, tap the opposite hand and lower. Lift the knee, tap the opposite hand and lower. So a chair on either side, or again a wall that you can pop 1 hand against. Absolutely perfect. We want to, again, with this one, make sure we are balanced before we lift. We want to keep a little bend in the knee, just to make sure we're nice and supported. Another way of doing this one that does work quite well is if you are against a wall, if you just rest your bum against the wall, so you're still standing tall, but you know the wall's there for you if you need it. So opposite hand comes across as much as we can. And with this one, if you wanted to make it a little bit tougher, we can add a little twist and lower. Twist and lower. So again, use the chair if you need to. So as we twist the body over that leg, we have to really work through the balance, as you can see. So we want to keep it nice and steady. Don't try and go too fast. And again, try and lift that knee as much as feels comfortable for you. Just going to do a couple more. So nice and steady. We'll make this one our last one. And then we're going to go to our sit to stand. So we're going to use our chair, sitting ourselves down. We're going to come forward into the front third of the chair. We're going to keep our feet, knees and hips about hip distance apart. Just take the heels back a little bit so the knees more over the ankle. We're going to bring our nose forward over our knees and toes, hinge at the hips, push strongly into the legs, bring it nice and tall. Hinge at the hips, nose over toes as we bring it back down. So push strongly into the legs, bring it all the way up. Hinge at the hips, lower it back down. And if you need to, use your hands on your thighs to push up, feel free. If you need to feel for the chair to bring yourself back down, feel free. If you need to use some support to help you stand up, whether that's the frame, whether it's a walking stick, whether it's the arms of a chair or the chair itself, then do feel free. Try not to keep at the back of the chair. It's so much harder to stand up if you're all the way at the back. You need to be on that front third. You need to be that little bit further forward. We need to keep the feet on the floor and really press strongly into the heels. And again, try and think, pressing equally down into each leg, bringing it up nice and tall. Slowly lowering it down. Let's do a couple more. So nice and strong all the way up. Nice and strong all the way down. Strongly up and strongly down. I'm going to do two more. So we've got that hinge at the hip so we can control it all the way. And all the way down. So we're going to bring it up for our last one in this little series. In turn, I'm going to face our chair. So I want you to stand again, feet about hip distance apart, toes pointing forward. And we're going to do a little mini squat. And we're just going to push the hips back, tap the chair, bring it in, and then we're just going to push up for the ceiling. I'm going to bring the hands in, I'm going to push back through the hips, tap the chair, push up strongly into the legs, and just reach up towards the ceiling. So you want to make sure you hinge from the hips. You can always see your toes, so your knees stay behind your toes. You push strongly through, and then we lift up. And with this exercise, if you wanted, you could use something that had a little bit of weight, or you could use a roll of wrapping paper, or you could use a walking stick, whatever works for you to control that lift and lower. We're going to push back through the hips, just tap the chair, push strongly, and just lift up. We're not lifting straight over the head. We really are lifting on a diagonal. We're just working through, again, those legs. And again, think about being as equal as we can. So take it nice and slow. Try and make it as equal as we can on both sides, both legs. And do make sure on this one, we don't let the knees come in together. So you don't want the knees to knock in together. We want to keep the knees in line with the ankles, in line with the feet. We're just going to do two more. So we've got one. And reach up. And our last one. and reach up. Bring it down. That's your exercises for this little video. Do feel free to repeat these exercises over again. Remember, we want to work up to 30 minutes a day. This is just 10 minutes, so if you can do this 3 times a day, that would be perfect. And I will see you on another video. Thank you very much.